Hi all, welcome back to the lecture video on the importance of sag. In the previous video we were discussing about the importance of sag, and the shape of the sag, either it will take a shape as a parabola or a catenary when the wire is suspended between two different supports on either side. So from the economic point of view, the transmission lines are designed to provide the sag, but it should be of lesser, it should be of the permissible sag. And if we consider these two towers, and then the length of the transmission line is L, when it sags, it takes the shape of the parabola or the catenary depending on the distance between the two poles. And if the wire sags, the additional height of the towers required increases the cost. So to keep the cost minimum, the sag should be maintained at the minimum level. If the sag is too low, then the wire gets subjected to the extra tension and then it tends to break. So the permissible sag for a particular transmission line is a very important design criteria that is to be followed by a power engineer. There are other factors like the weather conditions, which are with the wind or the temperature or the ice formation, which creates a stress on the conductor because the conductors are erected in the open ground, open air. So the sufficient sag has to be permitted, then the conductor cannot sustain such tension and they tend to break. The important point to design the transmission lines is to satisfy both the condition of maximum sag and then the less tension. So hence a minimum sag value has to be designed for a particular length of the transmission line and under all severe conditions, so that the tension of the conductor is always well within the safe limits. Such severe conditions may include the ice coating as well, and the high wind pressure also. So considering all this, depending on the local conditions, a power engineer has to design the particular transmission line for that particular section. When we think about this, it is necessary to design a transmission line for the sag and the tension under all weather condition. Overall calculations of the design is considered as the mechanical design of the transmission line. Let's understand the sag in depth. Let's understand the sag when the transmission line is erected between the two poles, and let's define what is exactly the sag. Consider a overhead transmission line conductor or overhead transmission line conductor erected between or suspended between two transmission towers A and B as shown in the transmission line. The transmission line is not fully stretched, but it is allowed to sag down. The point O is the lowest point of the sag, lowest point on the conductor. The difference in the levels of the support and the lowest point of on the transmission line is called as the sag. So S is denoted for the sag. So the difference between we can define the sag as the difference in the levels of the support, to the lowest line or the lowest point on the conductor, it is called as sag. Important points that we need to remember in terms of sag when we design a particular transmission line. The design consideration for the sag or the calculation point of view, we need to consider the two different type of loads that are acting on a particular point. So here we are going to consider some of the important considerations in order to calculate the sag or to be made. They are when the supports are at the same level. We can see here that the supports are at the same level, both the transmission tower heights are same, and at that time the sag assumes the shape of the catenary. The shape of the conductor is called as the sag span curve, and if the sag is small compared to the span, then it is a sag span curve is a parabola. If it is big, then it is called as catenary. The tension at any point on the conductor is tangential as shown in the figure. So at the point P, we can consider any point on this particular sag. At the point P, there are two types of tensions that are acting on the conductor. One is the horizontal tension and the other one is the vertical tension. So the tension T acts tangentially, and the tension T has got the two components. That is, one is acting horizontally and the other one is acting vertically. And the tangent direction at the point O is horizontal, and then the tension at the point O acts horizontally and is denoted as H. The horizontal tension is denoted as H. Now, if we consider the horizontal tension as H, then the tangential tension or the vertical tension at the point O is denoted as T. So the horizontal component of the tension H is always constant throughout the length of the transmission line. Therefore, So the tension T has got two components, as we already seen. One is acting horizontally while the other is acting vertically. The horizontal tension is going to be constant throughout, and we need to take care of the vertical tension, and then the H is always constant here. The tension at the supports is approximately equal to the horizontal tension acting on that particular the trajectory, and it is acting at any point on the conductor. So the horizontal tension acting at any point is denoted as H, and if the tension at the support A or B is T, then T is equal to H. So in the figure I have shown two different type of components, which are H and the T, and then this H which is acting on this, which is the horizontal component of the sag or the horizontal component of the tension, is the same as the tension that is acting on the conductors. So H is going to be uniform on any point of the curve. So T is the one which is going to act, which is vertically acting, and then that is the component which need to be taken care of. So the horizontal tension on the conductor as well as horizontal tension on the tower is going to be same. So if we call the horizontal tension on the conductor as H, and then the horizontal tension on the towers as T, then T is equal to H. We have got certain important points to be considered for the calculation of the sag and the tension on the conductor. Now the calculation of the sag and the tension are carried out in two cases. We understand that there are different type of geographical conditions where the supports can be supporting the conductor or located at the different points. There could be two cases. The supports, let's consider the first one. The supports supporting the conductor are located at equal level. Second case is the supports supporting the conductor are located at unequal levels. So let's consider the first case, the supports at equal level. So here the figure shows the equal level supports which are at the same level. We can see that, and the supports are at equal level, and the conductor is erected between the two towers A and B, and the A and B towers are of the same height, and they are at the same ground level also. So the conductor, consider a conductor supported by the supports A and B, which are located at the same point. The lowest point on the conductor, the sag of the conductor, is O. O is the lowest point, and then the difference between the height of the tower, the topmost point of the tower, to the lowest point on the conductor is called as S. Let us consider, to understand that what is the tension that is acting on, what is the tension T that is acting on any one particular point on this sag curve. Let us consider a point P, and P is at a distance of x from the lowest point of the conductor O, and the total span length is considered to be L, and then the center point, that is which is at the lowest part, is at the distance of L by 2 from each conductor. So the center point of the conductor, the center point of the sag, which is at the lowest point O, is at L by 2 distance, L by 2 meters from the support A as well as from support B. Now the total length of the span is considered as L, that is the capital L. Weight per unit length of the conductor is in kg per meter, that is W. T is the tension in the conductor, that is taken in kg. Consider a point P on the conductor, and let the point O is the origin. That is, from the point O we are considering, this is the origin, from the point O we are considering the point P somewhere on the trajectory, somewhere on the conductor. So P is at a distance of x from O. So now P has got two coordinates. The coordinates at the point P is x and y. So the length of the span is L, as it is large compared to the sag S, hence the shape of the conductor takes the form of the parabola. So small l is the half span length, that is capital L divided by 2. So assume the length OP of the conductor is same as the x of the conductor, as the sag is small. So L of OP is equal to x, that is from the distance from the lowest point O, the point P is at a distance of x. Now there are two external forces acting on the conductor, that is the tension T and the horizontal tension and the vertical tension. So the tension T, the weight Wx, which acts at a distance of x divided by 2 from the point O or P, that is OP is equal to x. The tension T acts on a horizontal direction at the point O. Now taking the moments of these two forces at the point P, we can equate both of them. T into y is equal to Wx into x divided by 2. Wx is the horizontal tension due to the weight. Due to the weight there is a tension, and y is the point y, that is the vertical tension. T into y is equal to Wx